As South Africa reels from a string of incidents of gender-based violence, music promoters are pulling out the stops to preach against the scourge. Local and international artists are due to descend on Durban early in the year to drive a message of peace and social cohesion. Well, for more on the event, I'm joined in studio by Zaiboonisa, Pheerbhay, and hip-hop artist Sabali. Thank you very much for both of you for joining us here in studio. So if I can ask you, Zai, I prefer to call you Zai, if that's okay. What's the concert all about, and who are the headline acts that we can expect there?
Okay, so the event that we're promoting is called Lovers and Friends Events, and I think at this point the major objective behind having the event is for us to promote love and social cohesion. Having a look at what's happening in the news lately, I think it's especially important for us to promote the message of love.
At what point did you decide, this needed to happen?
We're going into our third year running next year on the 15th of February 2020, but with everything that's been going on in the news lately, like we've seen just a little bit earlier on about Khomolemo, who was laid to rest today due to gender-based violence, then we've come up with this campaign that's called Artists Against Gender-Based Violence, and I think that's where Sabali comes in as well, because he's composed and recorded a track called Imbogoto, which highlights a message of saying that we are actually against gender-based violence. Yes. And it's going to be used as the lead song for the campaign. So tell us about Imbogoto, Abuti.
Well, Imbogoto is a song that actually I did it 2012, if I'm not mistaken. It's basically not about the current that is happening now. We started the song as far back as the Pistorius things. So now that these things keep happening, it's basically me as a man, as a father, as a son. Yes. I have to do something. I think that's the most important message that we need to spread out there on social media, that it's not just about talking about it, it's about you and you as a man. What are you doing in your own space, at home, at work? So me and my space and music, that is what I've done, and then we came up with this, and then now it's all working together for good.
Yes, yes. Look, it's a fantastic initiative. Yes. And it really does have an impact to have especially young people gather at these type of events. But when it comes to the actual causes of gender-based violence, where do you think some of the problems actually lie? Does it start with the home? Does it start with government? Where are we failing?
I actually think that, yes, it does actually start at the home. I find that, and I stand to be corrected, but I find that a lot of the people, or a lot of the perpetrators who are behind these heinous crimes that we've witnessed lately, are people who come from structures that are not like a formal and a proper home environment, and that becomes a problem. Yes. And I think that's where it starts from. So I mean, education is ongoing, and education always starts at the home. We always say charity begins at home, but I think charity and love and respect and humility and all of those things actually should begin in the home environment. Yeah.
So, Jay, you as a man, you're trying to do your thing in your own corner. What do you think your peers, male peers, should be doing as well?
They should all be spreading the message. They should not just spreading the message, because people go only as far as talking on social media, but talk to your neighbor. Check the street, the kids in the streets. Are they okay? Be vigilant. Be more open-minded with what is happening around your space. If you are at work, pay attention to what women are saying. Pay attention to what your peers are telling you. It's not just about we have to wait until there's an event in South Africa, as it's normally happening now. Yeah. What are we doing every day, every second? Because these things, there's a lot that are not reported. A lot. So we tend to stand up when we see, oh, a girl has been shot, oh, a girl has been done this. So I think with my peers, it's all about that. It starts with your sister, with your girlfriend, with your mother. Yes. We are all sons at the end of the day, or we are all brothers, we're all fathers. So hence why I took this initiative. Yes. And then I have a good team, and then now we are taking it to the next level.
One of the problems I find in our society, I think in societies broadly around the world, is that people want to mind their own business. But if you're living next door and you can hear that their noise is coming from next door, when do you know whether, to go knock and intervene, or just mind your own business? And I think that if we perhaps intervened more, we could prevent more of this. But where do we draw the line?
I'd have to say I actually agree with you in terms of the intervention and the intervention strategies that we use. I think also based on the way things are lately, we shouldn't have to wait that long. We shouldn't have to wait until someone's seriously injured. We shouldn't have to wait until somebody is killed before we actually take a stand. And I don't think it's necessarily actually going up to the door and knocking, but it's also a case of placing an anonymous call to a relevant department, your Department of Social Services, Department of Child Welfare, to say, I think there's something going on. So I'd rather say, rather be safe than sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Let's not make a big deal about it when something has gone wrong. And let's try and curb it at the beginning.
Yeah, and it's important that when you make that call is taken seriously.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us here in studio. That was Zaiboonisa, Pheerbhay, and hip-hop artist Sabali here in our studios.